Denitra, King, how do y'all feel?
You know how I feel? You got let's get to come outside. Yeah! I'm feeling that, bro.
Hey, you see how she just put her head down?
I'm
like,
feeling that.
This food here.
Woo!
So you know what?
You just gotta just like, you have to block.
Hey, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that. Yeah. They get to come outside.
We gonna do this the whole show?
No, for real. I have been following the young lady's track career for quite some time. You can't discredit her.
Right.
You can't take away the talent. I think with the situation at hand, she did it. She owned it. I personally have not seen very many comments about her being judged. So, and I don't know if that's just like, because I'm not looking for it or whatever, but I have not come across very many people that are not supporting her.
Right.
And this is not, to me, I think people are trying to turn it into a black and white thing. And I don't think it's a black and white thing. I think it's just a black girl who is now part of an organization that's ran by a board full of white people.
Right.
That's a good way to look at it.
And she's smoking that ass.
That's a good way. That ain't what she said.
Yeah.
That's a good way. That's a good way. That's a good way to look at it.
I think her situation, no different than any other athlete, whether it was steroids, whether it was weed, crack, or whatever the case may be, you know, she broke a rule. And the best example that I could give is I was talking to a friend earlier today, and she was like, oh, but you know, everybody smoke weed. Everybody smoke weed, but it don't make it right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's like saying, you know, 99% of men in the world cheat. Do it make it right? Or, you know, everybody robbing and killing. Does it make it right? No. You go to work, they test you for drugs, you come back positive. What leg do you have to stand on other than I messed up? And that's what she did. I messed up. She knew the rules.
Yeah.
It is what it is. The flip side to that for me is, I think as a culture, we're a little bit disappointed, but in reality, we all knew she was rough around the edges from the jump, very unfiltered, 21 years old, coming from, you know, a background that a lot of us can relate to, or know family members who come from, you know, that part of Dallas. It's no secret to what it is, and it's not an excuse, but it is what it is. She is a product of her environment. You know, with this success, you don't automatically get a PR person. You don't automatically have somebody in your family to, hey, yank you by the tailcoat and say, okay, remember, humble yourself. Remember, if you thought all eyes was on you at LSU, look at how many eyes are on you now. She didn't have nobody to tell her that. She's the meal ticket out. Everybody's riding on her back. So it's not like she had somebody to look up to. She didn't have an uncle that ran before. She didn't have an auntie that was in the Olympics before to coach her on this. And again, this is not an excuse for what she did, but the reality of the situation is her mistake is no different than the reason you made the mistake. It wasn't that you didn't know. Fuck it, I was going through something. You don't get to tell a person how to grieve. And if her choice of how to grieve was to smoke weed that day, that's on her. Because she didn't fail a drug test before. She hadn't failed a drug test in any other competition. And yes, you do get tested prior to the Olympics. You get tested in college. You know, and all of the stuff that leads up to the Olympics. So maybe she got lucky. You know, I'm not saying she just woke up and started smoking weed, but if that was her choice to do so at this point, 21 years old, rough around the edges, product of her environment, just buried her mama. Hey, some of y'all have lost a mother. And you didn't want to. You didn't want to hear it was gonna be okay. You didn't want to hear, oh, are you through crying yet? So to sit up here and judge this girl simply because that was her choice of coping mechanism is wrong. So I'm not knocking her. I'm riding with her. I rode with Michael Phelps. That was my dog. Hey, the boy got high. Still one of the greatest.